part 6. It's actually becoming painful to keep filming these because there's just so much stuff. I realize how much stuff I have. But I figured there's going to be one more because what we're going to look at last is stuff I've had for a very long time. It's all just stuff that I've had either from childhood, and I found a few more things that were gifted to me. So we'll do that. So a lot of the last video, the very last one, is going to be a lot of United cutlery and stuff goofy stuff I've had since I was in high school. So not to make this video any longer, let's go ahead and turn this around and we're going to start digging into a bunch of fixed blades that I have here at the house. A couple of them I designed, one of them I made, and just stuff that's been laying around, and I found another gift to the channel that falls into this fixed blade thing. So let's turn this around and get started. Come on, why wouldn't I start with my design? This is my sea snake design done through Artisan Cutlery. I'm really proud of this knife. This is kind of something I had always wanted. This personally is my favorite version. This is the all blacked out, but I designed this as an everyday carry EDC that could be used just anywhere. You didn't have to have a folder. It kind of meets that size criteria. It is not as big as a lot of the folders I own. It comes in a lot of different versions, but first and foremost, it's just a really good design. This is the one I carry the most. Really good design, in my opinion. A lot of other people think so too. This is done in ARPM9 steel, unless you go and get the high-end version that they did for Blade Show West exclusive. This is done in S35VN. G10 handles. This is my personal favorite of the bunch. This is the blacked out. So you've got a fairly decent sized knife. This is under the size of a lot of folders. You're looking at just under 7 inches, but you're getting everything you would need. It's nice and thin. It cuts really well. Not going to pontificate anymore. If you haven't got one, you should probably go check them out. The Sea Snake, Artisan Sea Snake, designed by me. So there's your first one for my fixed blade stuff. I really, really love this design. I was so proud of it. There is another one I'm trying to get released. I don't know when it's going to happen, but there you go, guys. There's my Since we had the sea snake, we may as well have the stonefish. This is my stonefish design done by We Knife Company. As you can see, MJE Designs. This was the first knife design that I really worked on to try and get out. This is my idea of a modern revisioning of a combat fixed blade. So I love this knife. A lot of people have these. They like them. Did not sell as well as I had hoped. These are still available. If you want one, they're still available in places. Done in 20 CV. Meant to meet a lot of different requirements in a campsite and things like that, but still have the availability if you need to use it. For combat, you have a combat knife. I've kind of customized mine a little bit. As you can see, it's been carried and beat around, but I polished up the G10 a little bit, and I anodized the screw heads. So 20 CV, nice big thumb ramp, nice forward finger choil, multiple points of carry, multiple grips. I made sure that the shadow box here allowed, so if you needed a window breaker, it was pretty much built in, but you didn't have to have something separate. Really like this knife. I really love my design here. I just wish there had been more of them sold. But I'm gonna talk to somebody at We Knife Company and see if we can't get another release of this sometime soon. Maybe done in some different materials, a little bit cheaper, something easier. Maybe I will be able to get a mini. But yeah, this is my personal one. It's the only stonefish I own. I don't even have one of my customs. So there you go, guys. The We Knife Company stonefish. Hey guys, I know I said the other day that cold steel was the best all-around outdoor knife I had ever owned. And when I say that, I meant as hunting knife. But if you're wanting something that is every bit the outdoor beast for bushcraft, this is probably one of the best bushcraft knives out. This is the Mora Companion in Sandvik steel. They do their own, I don't know what they call it. I can't remember what they call their steel that they do. It's a carbon steel. They They have their own name for it. But this is basically real similar to 14C. Takes a crazy, insane edge. And the fact is, with that hard to capture Scandi grind that's on these that I have sharpened up with my own edge, it comes down to an acute edge, even though it's still really thick. So what you get is a nice, thick, sturdy blade with an incredibly acute edge that comes down. I love Scandi grinds. They can be a pain to sharpen, but they come out great when done well. And the fact is, like I said, if I could only pick one knife for the rest of my life, it would probably be the Mora Companion. They're like 18 bucks, 12 to 18 bucks, depending on where you get them. Yeah, they rust, but you know, if something happens to it, you're out like 20 bucks at most. Super comfortable, just a great all around like pinnacle of bushcraft. Like if you wanted to come up with a bushcraft knife that was almost perfect, this is what you would come up with. You just cannot beat this Mora Companion for what it is. So there you go, the Mora Companion, probably the greatest bushcraft knife ever made. Here we go with the king of the classic fixed blades. You're not going to find much more of an iconic fixed blade other than this and the KBAR, which I have one that we're going to look at later. This is the Buck 119 Special. This thing is really probably the what's the word I'm looking for? The essential, I'm sorry, this is like the essential fixed blade. If you were to ask a kid to draw you a knife, this is what he would draw. Buoy style, nice fat handles for good grip. The fuller, just the way the blade is done, it's not super big, but it is a robust outdoors knife. The 420 stainless on this took such a terrifyingly aggressive edge. It's an attractive knife. It's done well. They really haven't changed that much since the one that my dad had when I was a kid. So really love this. This was a gift to the channel from a subscriber that would like to remain anonymous, but showed up. I did an unboxing on it. There haven't been a lot of changes, like I said, since like the 50s, but there are some minor ones. There's a little choil cut in here. Some of the things have been done different. They have some that are in different steels, different handle materials, but if you want a good, solid, everyday fixed blade, this is the one you want. And Buck knives, this one's made in America. So there you go, the Buck 110 Special. I'm sorry, the Buck 119 Special. I'm about half dumb today. This knife was an issue item. This one, I'm sure they picked it up at the PX because it has all of the markings of a knife that you would pick up at the PX as a gift for someone back home. But this is the Gerber Harsey Hunter. Super weird. Okay, I was gonna say comfortable, but it's really not. These grips are really weird. I've tried so many times the Coke bottle thing on it. The knife is so much more comfortable in this grip than it is in this grip. I never really carried it much, simply because I was not pleasant. It was not a pleasant feeling in hand. Even in reverse grip like this, not comfortable. Reverse grip like this, not comfortable. The only real way I found that knife comfortable was like this, which is absolutely backwards of how I would use it. So not to spend a lot of time on it. They are cool knives. They are neat, but they are not as functional as I would like. I do like the sheath system. I carried this a little bit. The fact was you couldn't put it on your belt that we wore. It was too small. I put it on my gear. This is removable. I do like the idea of a locking sheath. But like I said, once again, just not the best item I've ever been issued. I kept it because it was issued, but there's a good chance I may wind up getting rid of this. You guys may see this as a giveaway sometime soon. But yeah, there you go, guys. The Gerber Harsey Hunter. Well, I decided to pull the camera up because that last fixed blade was taking up the entire screen. So this is the A.G. Russell Sting done by CRKT. I got this in 2000. I remember exactly when I got this. I got this when I was home in 2006. Right while I was on transfer, I picked this up at a shop back home. I wanted something that I could carry that was simple, wouldn't break. I knew the kind of environments I was going to be in. I was going downrange. I wanted a little secondary knife that I could carry that didn't have any purpose except just a backup to anything. This was purchased as a self-defense tool. So this was the A.G. Russell Stang. It is drop forged, single piece construction. It's 1050. It's forged 1050. The Stang designed by A.G. Russell. I've had this for a very long time. I will say that this has one of the coolest carry systems for a boot knife. So that's what this was sold, as a boot knife. These straps are elastic. Well, they're not. I guess they're not elastic. I thought they were elastic, but they go around your ankle and then they Velcro on, and you can put it over top of a boot, lash it on, and carry it right on your ankle. So A.G. Russell Stang. This thing is not light. I'm not gonna lie. It is a big chunk of steel, but it is, for what it is, it's well contoured, it's well softened, it's not a bad knife. It is not a sharp knife that you're gonna carry. This is a very one-dimensional tool right here. That is definitely meant to be a last ditch item. So there you go, the A.G. Russell Stang done by CRKT. This knife is actually a knife I carried in uniform. No one said anything about it. They just didn't care. This is a Puma Stag Buoy back. This is new old stock. This is done before they moved their production to Taiwan. Beautiful sheath, leather sheath on this. It's just done really, really well. Even has a nice little piece that you can put around your leg to keep it from flapping around. Good leather sheath with another lanyard up here that you can wrap everything up. Big, broad, beefy blade on this with a just about perfect balance. This thing is done so well. I wish that Puma still made their stuff. I think they still make some stuff in Germany, but they definitely don't make near as much stuff. My dad had a Hunter's Pal that was done by Puma. This thing takes such a screaming sharp edge. It's done, if I remember correctly, it's done in 420 or 440C. But this is just like all around good camp knife, such good balance, and it's so attractive. Typical Bowie style blade, thinner back here, wider here, and then it tapers back down. So you have kind of a widening here, and then it tapers back down with the swedge. Lots of cutting surface, well ground, just an attractive knife. The way that the handles were done, impeccable, hand hammered rivets. Nice stag horn handles, and just, like I said, just a beautiful, beautiful knife. I came across this, I was lucky enough to come across this as new old stock. Had never been carried, came new in box. Well, it came new in box till I got it, and then I beat the crap out of it. So, but yeah, it was new in box, already had some of the green stuff around it, the verdigris around the buttons. So, yeah. Nice old showing by Puma, the Puma Stag Buoy. What kind of friend would I be to Chris and Elliot if I did not own one of their Lackeys? This is one of the only other small fixed blade knives that I really can get behind. This is as functional, almost, in my opinion, as my Sea Snake. I find the Sea Snake a little bit more comfortable to use. Just the handles are a little bit more designed the way I wanted them because it's my knife. But this one was done in powdered Damascus, carbon fiber. Man, what a beautiful, beautiful piece. These were done by We Knife Company. I think this is a 9CR based powdered Damascus. So the formulation is real similar to 9CR. But just gorgeous pattern in these. And just the combination of that and the carbon fiber. Nice, well done sheath. I don't have soft loops or anything on mine. I actually carry it in my pocket as a pocket EDC a lot of times. Such a great knife, and it gets so incredibly sharp with that powdered Damascus. It's such a fine grain structure on all powdered steels that, especially like the powdered Damascus, that you get a little bit different feel at the edge than you do with just the regular steel. Carbon fiber's been done beautiful. Look at that. You get that weird optical illusion to it where it looks like it should feel textured, but it's perfectly smooth, catches the light. Man, that's a beautiful knife. There you go, the Ferrum Forge Lackey in carbon fiber and Damascus. They have the Lackey XL coming out, guys, and I've seen the prototypes of them. They're great. If you haven't seen them, go check out ferrumforge.com and pick yourself up an extra large Lackey. So this is a little treat. It's technically part of my collection. This is a knife that I made for my daughter. This was all handmade by me. This is the original knife that inspired the sea snake. So this actually was done before the stonefish. This was done before the sea snake. This was done before any of my other designs. This was just a knife. I did not have any money and wanted to give my daughter something that she could have. And so I made shredded carbon fiber handles, mosaic pins, 440C blade, and I put the Star Wars logo right there, the Rebel logo in the blade. This is something I'm really, really proud of. This is like the second or third knife I made. I tried to do an interesting plunge. I mirrored it on from side to side, but I don't think it looks as good as I was hoping, but hey, it was just something I was trying to make for my daughter. Super light. Those mosaic pins are attractive. I wish I'd paid attention to how I put them in because they don't really match up the way I would like, but this knife just came out so good considering I was a brand new knife maker when I made this for her. So yeah, this one has a lot of history for me and her. So there you go. Sheath on this was done by Armitage Carry. If you can get an Armitage Carry sheath, it's the way to go. I put a tech lock on it because, well, I just didn't have enough soft loops here at the house. And plus it gave me a different angle of carry. If you look, it's kind of more of a tip down carry with that clip. It stands up just a little bit more instead of just being completely horizontal. So there you go, guys. This was the very first original Habu, the predecessor to the sea snake. And this is a full custom made by me for my daughter as a gift. So there you go. There it is. Only 2 more knives for this episode, guys. So this is a KBAR TDI. This was something that was issued. I did carry this. It did not look like this when I carried it. Nico, my little buddy, actually did the hydrographics on it. This is a KBAR TDI. I actually went to school on how to carry and use this. This is a secondary defense tool designed for law enforcement and military. It's meant to be just something you can grab, and it's supposed to duplicate the same feel of a pew pew. So like if you're trained on that, you should be able to grab this and go and just, pretty much straightforward. This is not something that you would consider an everyday carry tool. This is not something you're going to use out in the woods for cutting. This is one of those knives that I say kind of starts to cross that line between knife and weapon, going from tool to weapon. There's not a lot of everyday tasks you're going to do with this knife. It's kind of awkward. You could do some. It still does have some utilitarian purposes, but that's not what it was designed for. So these things are really, really well made, though. This is a great knife. KBAR does not mess around. The grip on this, super comfortable. Nico did such a good job with that hydrographics. It looks like it came that way, and it's held up. This does get carried. So guys, if you need anything done, if you've got something you would like to see done similar to this, get a hold of my buddy Nico. I'll put a link to his stuff in the description below. But yeah, just knocked it out of the park with this. KBAR did a really good job. The belt clip on this is so good. Like, this is one of the best belt clips I've seen on a knife in a very long time. And just the comfort level on this knife is really good, no matter how you carry it. If you've got it reverse grip or what, it's really comfortable. It's just, like I said, it's not really something you're going to use for everyday tasks. So there you go, the KBAR TDI. So these last two, it's the same knife. We're only going to look at one of them. One of these was my father's, one of them was mine. I actually did not, these were not the issued ones. I had an issued one. I don't know whatever happened to it. Someone stole it and walked off with it. Apparently they needed it more than me. But this is the KBAR. This is the iconic Marine Corps fighting knife. Mine's a Navy one. And the reason I say that these were not issue items, I purchased these for me and my dad off of the KBAR. I can't remember if I purchased this off the KBAR website or if I purchased this at a PX or an exchange somewhere. So this KBAR, Olean, New York. These are super well-made knives. Now, they are a bit big. They are a bit bulky. As you can see, it's taking up the entire screen. It's well above anything I could put on the mat. But these things were designed as a combat knife. The Marines still love them. I still love it for what it is. It's a little piece of history. It is the iconic military fighting knife for the United States. And like, mine's a USN version. I got one for me. I got one for my father. I gave him his when he passed away. My mother brought it back to me. This one was his. He actually like oiled it and had it out. I do believe he carried it. I keep hitting the tripod. You can see that he had his out, carried it, used it, beat on it. But these are great, incredibly well made knives. Just not the knife I would choose to carry. But if you were military, you gotta have one. You gotta have one in your collection. The fact that my father's came back to me a lot like my daughter's NTAC is really cool because I can have them both here at the house, mine and my father's. So there you go. That's the last one for this video, guys. We're gonna get into a lot of weird stuff in the next one. So let's not drag this out. Let's just go ahead and turn this around and do some final thoughts. So guys, there was a bunch of my fixed blade stuff. We're down to the nitty gritty of it. I figured there's only gonna be one more, unless I find a bunch more stuff just laying around that I forgot I even had, which has become a running theme. I'm like, oh wow, I forgot I even owned that. So I hope you guys have been enjoying them. When you're an avid knife collector, it can turn into this, where literally I have hundreds of knives here at the house. Thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff. So here we go, guys. End of this one. If you want to support the channel, all kinds of ways to do it. You guys know I put it out all the time. Affiliate links, join tab, share the content, and all the stuff down below where I have the merch store and the coupon code. So guys, take it easy. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.